Thanks for joining today's video. We are going to be talking about my TBR for 2025. It's not 100 books, it's not even 50 books. We're probably doing under 10 books because that is my realistic reading speed. So let's get right into it. Also, if you're new here, hi, I'm Catherine. I am a book enthusiast. I love reading and I'm looking to engage with people online about plots, characters, fantasy. That's my favorite type of book. So please subscribe, comment what your favorite book is in the comments, introduce yourself. I'd really love to meet some people doing this. The first book I'm talking about is a book that I have been reading for a few months now, and it's not a very big book. I thought I'd be able to crush this in 2 weeks, but it is 1984 by George Orwell. Why this has taken me so long to read? Because it's a bit of a prophecy, it feels like, and with the political climate today in a lot of countries, it's not giving me the escapism which I like with reading, the excitement of plot and twists, the love of characters. This is very doomsday, a warning of what governments could do to us when they have too much power. That's my cat. He's in my profile picture here, so I'm pretty close to being done. I want to finish it soon. But like I said, it's a little doomy and gloomy. And Margaret Atwood, who also wrote a doom and gloom book called The Handmaid's Tale, says it's one of her favorite books. She's read it again and again. And I know why these books are important to read, because they make you question our systems and what's going on in our world. It's hard to read this and then legitimately engage in this world. I find this, I like to read at night, I like to read in the morning, and I can't read this before bed. I can't read this first thing in the morning. And so I think that's why it's been a difficult book for me to continue with. I also find the way that he writes women to be quite concerning. They're very, and I don't know if it's his writing or just because of how he's doing the book, the way that he views women tends to be very much, and I know this is not revolutionary to say this, but it's either a sexual object and he hates them because they are a sexual object, or he describes them as these really old, crusty beings who are just body weight is always mentioned. They have these red arms that are thick. Oh, it's very disheartening to read. And maybe that's supposed to be because it feels like the character has no hope, and that's how the author is portraying it. So yeah, this is the book that I need to finish. I'm so close, and I do like it. Again, it's just a lot of doom and gloom and real political lives right now, where I also don't want to read about it in fiction. The next book that I will be reading is Onyx Storm, which is the third book for the Fourth Wing universe. So I'm pretty sure it comes out tomorrow or Wednesday. I am doing a recap of the books on this channel, which I haven't been doing a good job of, oh my god, because I add in too much detail. I don't think it's very engaging to watch, so I'm really going to try to figure out how to summarize better and make it more entertaining for you to watch. And I'm not going to spoil anything for the books, but The Last Iron Flame, which is the second book, oh my god, the cliffhanger is so intense, and I was pretty lucky that I read the books just the end of 2024 in September time. So I didn't have to wait that long for this next book to come out. So I remember all the last books, and I'm just excited to really get into a book again after reading this. Are you a fan of the Fourth Wing book series? I fought it for a long time, but I gotta say, it's just a fun read. I really enjoyed myself. I had fun. I liked the characters. It made me sad. I would suggest reading it. So I'm hoping to finish Onyx Storm pretty quick. because it's just a story that I like. So around February, like Valentine's Day, I'm going to read A Fall of Ruin and Wrath. This book was gifted to me by my cousin, and I haven't read any of this author's books. I know she wrote the From Blood and Ash series. I heard that series doesn't end well, so I don't think I'm gonna read it knowing that beforehand. I don't know anything about this. This is like, there's monsters. Yeah, I haven't even really read the jacket. I really enjoy the little back quote here. It says, she lives by her intuition and he feeds on her pleasure. So it's gonna be a spicy book with hopefully some fun adventure. Oh, I love a good map. Oh, and there's a pronunciation guide. Oh my God, how exciting. And again, I feel like this is just gonna be fun adventure, romance, something quick to read, even though it's quite thick. And I love the cover. I love crows. Fun fact about me. All right, so now we're kind of getting into the springtime. I am going to be reading Powerless. Reckless is the next one. This is kind of like a Hunger Games type of book. There's a prince. There is an ordinary girl. She's a thief, survivor. It is a young adult book, so I don't really know I haven't read a lot of young adult books recently. She gets thrown into the purging trials. A brutal competition showcasing the elite's power. Crazy. It's a nice thick book. I've heard really great things about it, and it's exciting when people talk about this book and they really love it, but I haven't seen a lot about like the plot. So I'm not here to talk about why I want to read this because of the plot. It's more the vibes. And this is why I love on social media, BookTube or Book Talk, because I don't know if I would have picked up this book if I didn't see it online. So let me know if you want me to do like a book recap on this, because I believe there's going to be 3 books. I think 2 are out now. That could be our next book series. That would be fun. Now, another book that's coming out is from an author that I love. It's Rachel Gillig, One Dark Window, Two Twisted Crowns. I devoured these books the winter of 2023. One of the most fun times I've had reading probably since like Sarah J. Maas books. These are just so fun, and the magic is just absolutely unique and amazing. I loved the characters, and oh my God, I can't speak enough of these books. So she's coming out with a different book. This was a duology, so this is done, but she's coming out with I don't remember the name. I will put the picture of the cover on the screen here, and I think it comes out in May, so it'll be a good time for like kind of in between these 2 books. Yeah, I am very excited to read more of her. Definitely, if you haven't, please read One Dark Window. It's very like gothic, could almost be like Gothic American, but definitely like English Gothic. That's how I kind of heard it, because there are castles and stuff, and I feel like that's so much more of a English thing to do. It kept me on my toes. It kept me interested. I blew through this book over Christmas. It's really good. Please read it. Now, this is awful. I bought this book last summer, but then I got into Fourth Wing and I got into some other books, and I think the size has been deterring me a bit, but I think one of the books that really got me into reading when I was younger was Twilight. We have Midnight Sun that got released. It is Twilight, but Edward's point of view. This is thick. This is gonna be a beast of a book, which is why I also think this will be a fun summer read. I'm just so excited to read it from Edward's point of view. I'm pretty sure she was working on this a very long time ago, and I read like the first chapter online. I think it was leaked or something. Listen, I loved all of Twilight. It was the first midnight book launch I ever went to, was for Breaking Dawn, and I remember they had like blood, drinks. We're all like young, so nothing alcoholic. So it's like a pop probably with red food dye, and they had some candy, and it was such a fun night. You know, the next morning reading the book like all day, and I remember being like, okay, I have to stop. Like I can't keep reading because this is the last book. I don't want it to finish. So it's really cool to see her to expand some of the books. I also enjoyed her book, The Host. If you haven't read that, that's a sci-fi book. I would definitely recommend that one. Also, it's thick. Oh, I'm so excited. I was just like reading through some of the words there and I can't. Maybe this will be a spring read too. We'll see. Do you want me to do a little chat? Any of these books I'm talking about, let me know if you want an extra video made specifically on them after I've read them. And then there's another sci-fi book. Yes, so this is from one of the YouTubers that I love watching, Carrie Can Read. She recommended this book. I think she read it in 2024, like one of the best books she's read. And it's A Memory Called Empire. I haven't gotten into a lot of sci-fi books yet, just because I'm such a fantasy girl. This sounds really interesting. It's about space and it only came out in 2019. So I thought it was going to be like a bit of an older book. So it's basically about our main character as she investigates the death of her predecessor and instabilities that underpin that society. And I'm pretty sure Carrie was explaining how you have a chip. So when you take over for someone, all of their memories get like downloaded into your brain so you can like perform your job and everything. But he hasn't uploaded for 10 years. So she kind of needs to figure out, one, why did this guy die? And two, why hasn't he been uploading his memories for the past 10 years? It gets a really good rating. I would like to expand into some more sci-fi because I love watching sci-fi. I watched all of the Star Wars everything over Christmas. So I want to give reading it a go. If I have time, because I'm not like those people who just reads. I do like to like enjoy this. I'm not saying they don't enjoy the story, but it's just not my style. But if I do have extra time to read a book, I've been thinking about The Way of Kings, that series by Brandon Sanderson. I'll try to put a picture up here. These are thick books, like they're almost 1,000 pages and the words are not like spaced apart. They're tight together. So incredibly heavy plot, character, development stories, which I do love. And I read Mistborn last year for the first time. Loved that series so much. It is literally, so there's 3 books. The last book has the best ending I have ever read. It's so good. So I really want to get into more of his books, but I'm just a little intimidated because one, if I start it, that means I have to finish it and then I won't be able to read those books for the first time again. And 2, they are a bit of a time commitment on my other channel, which is for like makeup, get ready with me chats. I will try to link the video in the description box, but I talk about how I'm actually going back to school. So this is my first semester back and I don't really know what it's going to be like when I get really into it. I'm just doing 1 class right now. So in the summer, it's going to be full time and that will be a little nerve-wracking. So I just don't want to like overpromise myself with all these books when then I'll be making another video at the end of the year being like, I read nothing. I'm still reading 1984. No, I'm not going to do that. I am going to finish that as quickly as possible. I just got to find time in the afternoon to read it so I don't feel sad in the morning or the night. Anyways, have you read any of these books? Please don't spoil anything for me, but did you like them? And what books are you really excited to read in 2025? Please leave that in the comments. Please subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm excited to put a little more effort into this video this year because I have an actual schedule this time. I'm going to try to get back into the summarizing of the books for Fourth Wing, Iron Flame, and then I guess I'll be doing Onyx Storm. How exciting. Those will probably be the videos coming out in the next few weeks. And again, let me know if you want a recap of any of the books that I just mentioned. But I hope you have a great day. Thanks for being here.